Welcome to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast, where we dive deep into the home gym scene. Each week, we put out Sunday surveys where you tell us your thoughts on products, builds, and all things home gym related. We're here to break down the numbers and to talk shop. So thanks for listening, and let's get started. Hey, everybody, and welcome back. This is the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. I'm Adam. Jake is here too, and we have Jay from My Free Gym on tonight. Jay, how you doing, man?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. We're excited to talk to you. We're going to interview Jay in part 2 of this podcast and chat to him about his home gym and content that he's been creating around it. But first, we'll dive into the Sunday survey results from last week. We'll talk about spring collards, upgrade once, the importance of equipment made in your country, and more. So with that, Jake, take us through those numbers.
Thank you, Adam. Let's dive in. So number one, really random question, but are spring collars good enough for your home gym? So while 6% do not know what spring collars are, the no's outvoted the yeses. So 54% said no, 40% said yes. So that's about a third more voting for no. I definitely think spring collars do the job for most of the population. What do you guys think?
So here's a funny one. So I did a post about a week or so ago about spring collars. And, after making content for so long, you kind of have to dig deep once in a while. So I was trying to compare spring collars to like a road collar. And the weirdest posts get traction sometimes. Like 500,000 people have responded about this post. So
oh, man.
It just kind of blew up. A lot of people fighting over if it's good enough or not. In my opinion, I don't use them. I think after years of commercial gyms, they just tend to get all like stretched out. They slide off the bar. I mean, for an average home gym, yeah, they're probably fine, but I'd rather spend the extra $20, $30 and get something decent.
Yeah, I actually rarely use collars in general. Even like when doing like the Olympic lifts. I mean, you're rarely like cycling like, I don't know, 3 and 4 like clean and jerks together. So I rarely would put collars on the bar. I found a need for it over the past couple of weeks though, with the Rogue Tib bar. The weight angles down, and I put spring collars on it, and it's fine with a 10. It's fine with a 10 and a 5. You get a couple of 10s on there though, and you start getting high rep ranges. It slowly pushes to the end, and then you got the dink, 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 dink as you're lifting. So it can get a little annoying. So I might have to upgrade just for that bar, I'm thinking.
Yeah, loadable dumbbells are the same as well. So if you have loadable dumbbells, you definitely need a higher quality of collars. I definitely appreciate better collars. And I have nicer collars and spring collars, and I never use the spring collars. But I would say, like Jay said, the average Joe can probably get away with it. But I guess most of these people answering these questions aren't the average Joe. So I think that's good for that. If you're listening and you remember the beginning of the year, we asked if you had heard of the Garage Gym competition or if you've competed in it. So the Garage Gym Competition Spring Edition has come and gone. We wanted to see how did the awareness change and if more people who are answering these surveys actually competed. For anybody that doesn't know, the Garage Gym Competition is an online powerlifting meet. So we actually asked about it before and after a podcast with the founder of Garage Gym Competition, Joe Gray. But the numbers went up a decent amount from the beginning of the year. So back in January, 28% said they had heard of the Garage Gym Competition, and now that number is up to 47%. So that's pretty good. And then the amount of competitors is up about 2/3 as well. So that went from 6 point something to about 10%. So pretty good increases there. Not really surprising.
It seemed to blow up my feed this year. Everyone competing in the Garage Gym Competition. Might be a good time to plug the Ice Cream Classic coming up as well. So if you guys follow Home Gym Discord, there's another chance for you to get into a powerlifting competition. This one, they have weigh-ins and stuff, so it's a little different, but check them out on their Instagram, June 9th to the 11th for Ice Cream Classic.
Yeah, this will probably get posted like the day or two after, but shout out
so it's too late, guys.
To the Discord too. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Anything else on this one? It did not look like the numbers went up in terms of total amount of people that, did the competition, But it looks like more of the niche group who are power lifters from home did it. So like you said, Adam, your feed was blowing up. So a lot more people, and the survey says it too. So pretty cool.
Jay, did you
I
compete?
kind of felt late not doing this one. I did not compete. I'll tell you guys later, but this has been a rough couple months post-baby. So, to me, get down here at all is a feat in itself, never mind trying to compete.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes
Jake,
sense.
are you going to jump in the fall? Right
Yeah, maybe
before
after we do
run
this
our
run,
50 miler? It's right before.
Well, I think it's – ooh, no way. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to put up some terrible numbers and just have fun with it.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll be so
All right.
yeah.
Next up, so we asked, what do you want to upgrade the most? So we have 4 different options, and these are kind of like the big 4, you might think, when building out a home gym, at least for most people. Answering these questions, so we had rack, bench, plates, and barbell. About 36% want to upgrade the rack. That's the easy winner. Bench and plates both are right around 25%. And then barbell pretty decently behind at around 14.5%. So most people want to upgrade their rack. What would you guys say for this one?
So I went ahead and said bench. I think my rack is great. I have plenty of plates. I'm not like a huge stickler for barbells. I mean, I have an Ohio bar that I use for most things. My bench, I'm always trying to find the right bench. I've got 3 of them down here right now. My daily driver is a 0 gap, but it's still like not perfect for me. So I go bench.
I'll go plates. Just to have it, I wanted a set of steel plates and started with old school iron and then recently bought 10s, 5s, 2.5s of Strength Co. And I want to get a full set of Strength Co. So I'll end up completing the set.
Got it.
Jake,
I went
what's
with
Jake going to upgrade?
I'd want to go with plates too. There are a few on the wish list that I'd love to snag. The barbell being in last was kind of interesting, but definitely makes sense. Similar to like what Jay said, most likely you get a barbell and it'll do the job. So you're not really looking to upgrade really ever unless you want to like add a specialty bar or something. I think most people probably get that first barbell and stick with it as long as they can, or like, you just have some extra funds and you want to buy a new bar for fun. So
yeah, I think most of us coming from commercial gyms, we've seen that one power bar for our entire life. Like we didn't know there were 100 different kinds of power bars. So like just having something that's halfway decent is amazing. So, I mean, there's certainly that elite class and the people that really understand why they need 10 different barbells. But I think for most people, having 1 or 2 good ones is plenty.
Yeah, you're not alone when it comes to the confusion of what a good barbell was like when we first started the home gyms as well. All right. Next up, where do you live? And this also helps us analyze the next few questions. But about 82% of those answering these surveys are from America, 7% Canada, 7% Europe, and then it's about 3% for the rest of the world. So we asked this back in April 2021. Overall, not much has changed. America was at 82%, and then Canada did creep up a little bit, but overall, pretty much the same. So a little demographics on who's answering these. All right, importance of made in your country. Earlier, just before we said, most people are in the U.S., so just keep that in mind. Also Europe and Canada. Most likely there's some people making within their countries, but not a ton. But with that said, so we have 2 slides to report on here. So we have about 5% saying almost essential, 30% saying important, 45% saying not important. So the not important outweighs the important and almost essential by about 10%. And then 19% saying neutral. So pretty interesting. And we also have some trending data. So we asked this exact same question back in April of 2021, November 20 of 21, and now we have it a third time for June of 2022. We've seen the non-important voters go up from about 37% to 45%, which is a 22% total increase. We've seen those voting important go from 28 to 30%. That's a 9% total change. Keep in mind, we have decimals working there as well. Essential down from 6% to 5%. And then neutral is down a decent amount. That's from 29 to 19%. So a lot less neutral votes. But in general, there's more people voting not important. And then I just want to emphasize, we said this the last time we discussed it, but like, we're not the moral police here. We're just collecting the data. And while we might have our own opinions, we don't want to like shame anybody here. But regardless, any thoughts on those numbers or any reason why you think those are, why they are?
Being in the US, I think it's cool seeing these numbers of important going up a little bit. The reason why not important is probably spiking. It's just there is so many companies out there and they're coming from all over the world and there's just a lot of imports out there. It's getting hard to turn down some of these deals. These imports are cranking out some really good looking products. The quality is kind of creeping up for most people. And the price is getting kind of hard to touch. So I can understand why it's seen as not important when they're trying to kind of weigh the price value.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm kind of trending the opposite way as what the numbers are showing. As I was just trying to get essentials in the gym so that I could be full time in the basement working out and getting everything I want out of it. It wasn't that important to me to get Made in America stuff. Now that I have pretty much everything I need to accomplish, all the things I like to do, as I start upgrading, it becomes something that I'd like to try to do more of, is get more Made in America stuff. So, I was maybe neutral, maybe not important in the beginning, and now it's becoming more important to me.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I voted important. To me, I'm trying as much as I can. I mean, you got the Sora Next rack, and most of my stuff is Rogue. I think I don't want to leave out Canada. I'll kind of lump in North America because Canada is creating some really high quality stuff as well. So to me, like being from the US or North America is important.
Yeah. Following up from Adam's comment, there was somebody who I thought made a good point in a DM, but it was pretty much something similar to what Adam just said. Was basically they had filled out their gym, and now as they upgrade, they're going to look to, buy from those Made in America companies. So like a lot of people just buy what they can at the price they can afford at the time, just so they have something that they're able to use. And then, that's when you really start to try and build through a little bit, maybe upgrading quality for things made in America. So, yeah.
I think you're also seeing a lot of the import companies, they're getting shipping pretty quick. I mean, like someone like a Titan or a Rep, they're getting stuff to your door in days or weeks versus a lot of these US companies that are making it to order. You're going to wait some time. I mean, you talk to a Sorenex, a Rogue, a Stray Dog, like they're doing kind of one-off manufacturing and they're taking their time and the quality shows, but if people need something immediately or they want that free shipping, they're probably going to go import.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And I also thought what you said earlier with the kind of overall quality creeping up to what we see being made in America or made in Canada, like you said, it's tough for someone to pay extra for that. I'm wondering too, like a lot of people might just go and buy without realizing where it's from too. So, all right. We have another question on the kind of the same topic, but how much of your gym was made in your country? This was relatively spread out. You could choose between 0 and 25%, all the way up to 75 to 100%. So in the 0 to 25%, about 28% voted that way. 25 to 50% received 32% of the votes. That was the most popular response. 50 to 75% was right around 27%. And then 75 to 100% is 14%. That kind of shows us that, it's pretty difficult to create an entire home gym from Made in America stuff anyways. With, even Rogue is importing quite a bit of their stuff. And then we also have trending data as well. So this one we only have comparing to November of 2021, but we're seeing a lot more people in the lower percentage of made in your country stuff. So 0 to 25% went from 22% to 28%, and then 25 to 50 went from 29 to 32%. So those are up, and then the others are down. I think this one is pretty similar to what we said earlier. Any feedback on these numbers from you two? And then a few miscellaneous ones to kind of end this. Last week, we were chatting about like some of the trending data. So it made me just want to ask, like, how often are people answering these surveys? Like, are you doing it every week, or are you doing it once a quarter? Is this your first time, etc.? But so we found that most people are doing it on a regular basis, I would say. So 32% saying every week, 46% saying most of the time, 15% about half, and then only 7% was rarely. So in general, you're kind of seeing the same people answering from week to week. And then lastly, a few other miscellaneous ones. 21% have TikTok. Those that lift with pounds received 6.3 times more votes than those that lift with kgs. And then only 9% lift with both. And then we also asked about grip adapters like fat grips. So do you have an interest in something like that? 16% have high interest in using something like that. 29% medium, 49% low, and then 6% neutral. So not a ton of interest, but 16% is definitely a market. Any feedback from the miscellaneous items we just discussed?
I mean, having started my gym social on TikTok, it's cool to see 21%. I've definitely noticed there's not as many people crossing over as I probably would have expected. I think their audiences are pretty different, but there's a lot of cool content on there. There's a lot of good creators. If you can get past all the dancing and like the kiddie stuff, I think it's worth checking out.
Yeah, Jake and I were having a conversation about TikTok and how it is growing and becoming a platform to definitely take interest in. I've been reluctant just because of the dancing and, you know, things like that, and coworkers sending me videos and yeah. But, you know, I can see it growing. I have seen a lot of the gym content on there, and it's captured my interest for sure. So it'll be cool. Jake, when you run this one again, ask the same question, how that grows. That could be a fun one to track.
Yeah, that will be interesting.
We're certainly seeing a lot of the content from TikTok being pasted over to Instagram. So there's a lot of crossover in the content.
Yeah, in regards to the TikTok, it's been a few weeks since I've been regularly posting TikToks, and I'm giving just a little bit of effort. I'm just taking some clips from podcasts and putting them there. But it's definitely tough to grow. But I've spent a little bit more time on TikTok during that time too. And I've noticed my feed change. So I don't see like any dancing anymore. I'm not sure. Like, I think it's like the algorithm's so smart that it sees that if you're just swiping by the dances so fast, they know not to give you the dancing stuff. So mine's pretty much just like lifting stuff. And my wife sends me a lot of like annoying husband things. So it's a lot of like annoying husband things, or like, you know, grocery, healthy food stuff. And then for the fat grips question, I think when I started building out the home gym and had minimal equipment, the fat grips were a really nice thing to add. I used them quite a bit in a number of different ways back when I first started, and really don't use them at all anymore. I think because have a little bit more variety of stuff to do. So I would say if you're early into the home gym game, grab some. They're like $30. There's a few different brands that make some cool ones. But if you already have a decent amount of variety, I don't think most people are going to use them a whole lot, unless you're CT Fletcher.
Or Stricters in athletics. They love them over there too.
Yeah. I
got a set back in college, and I've had them kind of sticking around for a while. They've been in my gym bag. I have them here. I did a video this week showing them like on a D handle, just kind of finding some new ways to use them. But I think it is cool to have like the ones that have the camber grip and just different versions of the fat grip. So it's kind of cool seeing those come out.
Yeah,
for sure.
I've had to like try to force myself to put them to use. So it's just not something that I like to naturally use. So I can see what you're saying, Jake. But the camber grip ones, they do look pretty cool. Probably would have to force myself to use those too. So I don't know if they're for me, but you know, definitely an affordable, cool product that anyone can throw in their repertoire. So
okay, cool. I think that wraps it up. Anything else?
Nope.